There's a secret written into your biology. A hidden code buried in your nervous system. And only a small fraction of men, less than 1%, have ever learned how to use it. These men don't just work harder. They don't depend on luck. They don't wait for opportunity. They engineer it. While the rest of the world drowns in noise, these men see patterns, signals invisible to average eyes. They turn these signals into weapons, and weapons into wealth, power, and control. Pause. Lower tone. Tonight I'm going to reveal the first of those forbidden secrets. Knowledge once reserved for the select few. Knowledge that rewires the way a man thinks, moves, and conquers. The problem: why most men fail. Here's the brutal truth: most men are blind. They think words create reality. They listen to empty promises, consume endless motivational quotes, and chase illusions. But the nervous system doesn't respond to words. It responds to signals. Evolution punished men who ignored signals, threats, dominance, opportunity. For thousands of years, failure to detect those cues meant death, erasure from the bloodline. And yet today, men numb themselves. They trade attention for distraction. They drown their dopamine in cheap pleasures. They miss the subtle cues of wealth and power all around them. That blindness is why they struggle. Not because they lack potential, but because their biology is firing in the wrong direction. The wealthy, the powerful, the men who shape destiny, they don't just act harder. They see deeper. They decode signals invisible to the average man. And these signals don't come one by one. They come in clusters, patterns that your nervous system was designed to recognize but has been programmed to ignore. Tonight I will give you 3 of them. 3 forbidden clusters that separate the blind from the elite. Signal Cluster 1: Scarcity versus Abundance. Your brain is hardwired by evolution to chase scarcity. In the wild, scarcity meant survival: rare food, rare shelter, rare mates. Dopamine spikes when something is rare. The average man becomes a slave to this signal. He panics when resources feel limited. He chases, he begs, he lowers himself. But the millionaire? He flips the code. He knows that scarcity creates value. Instead of chasing what's rare, he creates rarity around himself, with his time, his skills, his presence. That's why his calendar is untouchable. That's why his attention is expensive. He doesn't run toward scarcity. He makes himself the scarce resource, and the world runs toward him. Signal Cluster 2: Energy Allocation. Every man wakes up with a limited reservoir of dopamine, the chemical of drive. Wasted on scrolling, on meaningless debates, on hollow pleasures, and you have nothing left when it's time to build, to fight, to create. Average men leak their dopamine every hour. The elite guard it like gold. This is biology, not philosophy. Dopamine isn't infinite. Once it's gone, your willpower collapses. Every man wakes up with a limited reservoir of dopamine, the chemical of drive. Wasted on scrolling, meaningless debates, hollow pleasures, and you have nothing left when it's time to build, to fight, to create. Average men leak their dopamine every hour. The elite guard it like gold. This is biology, not philosophy. Dopamine isn't infinite. Once it's gone, your willpower collapses. The millionaire uses this knowledge strategically. He doesn't chase every impulse. He deploys his energy with precision, toward assets, toward leverage, toward victories that multiply. That's why he appears tireless. Not because he has more hours, but because he spends his neurochemistry like a general spends soldiers, deliberately, ruthlessly, with victory in mind. Signal Cluster 3: Dominance Display. In every species of primate, dominance signals decide who eats first, who mates, who leads. The rules haven't changed for men. They've only become more subtle. Posture, eye contact, control of space, control of time. These are primal codes that bypass logic and strike the nervous system directly. The average man seeks permission. He waits to be chosen. His body leaks weakness before he ever speaks. The 1% never wait. They broadcast dominance long before the first dollar is made. Money doesn't create power. Power attracts money. The millionaire understands success isn't just built on strategy, it's signal. And those signals decide who follows and who disappears. Authority and science frame. Neuroscience confirms it. Your prefrontal cortex, the command center of decision making, was designed to calculate long-term rewards. But when it's flooded with cheap dopamine, it shuts down. You lose discipline. You surrender to impulses. And your future collapses before it ever begins. Evolution confirms it. For millions of years, men who ignored signals, threat, dominance, opportunity, were erased from the bloodline. The survivors? They were the hunters, the strategists, the ones who saw what others missed. Today, the principle hasn't changed. You're not fighting laziness. You're fighting biology. And biology can be reprogrammed. Emotional engagement, fear and desire. Think about the last 5 years. How many opportunities slipped through your hands because you weren't ready, because you didn't see the signals? How many times did you watch another man win, while you told yourself you would start tomorrow? Every day you ignore these codes, another man, sharper, hungrier, claims the wealth, the respect, the woman, the life that could have been yours. But imagine this. What if you could rewire your nervous system? What if you could read every signal of power, every cue of wealth, every pattern of dominance, like a second language? You'd no longer chase opportunities. Opportunities would chase you. You'd stop burning energy on distractions. Every ounce of dopamine would serve your ambition. You'd move through the world like a predator among prey, calm, focused, inevitable.